Join Venus Castleberg as she teleports you to the wonderland of possibilities, where we explore consciousness from the inside out to create a different world, where problems are possibilities and your point of view really does create your reality.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wonderland of Possibilities, where anything is possible and magic is real. Just wanted to dive in today into something that's near and what I know is this does not apparently work. So let's start that again. I just wanted to talk a little bit about spirit guides. So one of the first things I want to put out there, and I know I've said it before, I said it in a post recently when I was talking about channeling, there's no one or nothing that is more powerful than you. And that's really important to know, because I know a lot of times what happens is we think that because they're beings without bodies, or that there are spirit guides, like there are personal team members, that they're more powerful than us. That's the first thing I want to just put out there. They're not. And they're only here to assist us on our journey, right? So they're here if you want to ask for something, but they're not here to interfere or tell you what to do. Hello, Facebook user. If you give StreamYard permission, I can see your name. But yeah, so the whole somehow they know more than you, or they're more powerful than you. You are the only one who knows what's best for you. So this seems really important to emphasize today. You have the power to create a life and living that you've always desired. You can literally change your own reality. Literally, you can change it. And I have many examples of when I've done that in my own life, but just look back on your life when something you thought was unchangeable and you changed it. So I think it's really important to just emphasize the power that you have and the power to change anything. Now, that being said, we do all have a spiritual team, and they are here to literally just to support us. So if you want their contribution, you can ask for it. If you want to get to know them, you can ask for it. It's really just an asking. And somebody posted, I said, do you guys have any questions? And feel free to pop them in the comments if you have any questions while I'm talking. I'm happy to answer questions as we go. But somebody said they wanted to be more grateful in their life. Well, that's a really great tool, because if you want more of anything, you got to be grateful for what you have. I know many of you have probably heard me say this, but it's such a big one, right? It's like, if you want more money, you have to be grateful for the money you have. If you want a better relationships, you got to be grateful for something about the relationships that you have, right? Because it changes your focus. It changes you from focusing on lack, thus creating more lack, and has you focusing on abundance and creating more abundance. Meaning, when it comes with your spirit guides, you can get be grateful for them and then receive more from them. Be grateful for what they contribute when you ask, and then they'll contribute more, right? So it's kind of the same with like your best friends. Like when you've asked for something from somebody or your best friends or, something like that, when you're grateful for them and for whatever they contributed to you or helped you with or whatever, then they have this desire to contribute more to you. So it's kind of the same with your spiritual team, right? But because, we're always talking, I also am an Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator, and what's really important to remember is that you know more than you think you know. Like, you know things. You don't need to turn to your spiritual team for answers that you already have. But the key is for you to tap into your own knowing and even ask questions like, what do I know here? What am I aware of? What else is possible? What's my reality? And really play with those and explore for yourself, like, wow, what is it I'm aware of? What am I tapping into? Who does this belong to, right? Great question to ask, by the way. And your point of view creates your reality. So if you have a point of view that you cannot connect with your team, or you don't know who your spiritual team is, or blah, 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 right? And I'm not discounting any of your points of view by saying blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying that there could be an infinite number of points of view about like whatever, right? We've made up points of view about everything. I can't have lots of money because people with lots of money are mean, right? But your point of view will create your reality. So that's the same with your spiritual team. If you choose not to believe that you don't have a spiritual team, I'm not here to convince you that you should believe that you have a spiritual team. But if you believe that you don't have a spiritual team, then it's going to be harder for you to connect to them, right? If you believe that they're not actually here for you, then it's going to be harder to receive from them, right? If you believe that the universe is stacked against you, then it's going to be harder to see that the universe is always conspiring for you, never against you, right? So these points of view create your reality. So today, all the places where you have points of view that are keeping you from creating the life and living that you truly desire, will you destroy and uncreate that times a godzillion? Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all nine shorts, boys, POVADs, and eons. Cool. And if you haven't ever heard the clearing statement, I think you probably all have by now, but that's the clearing statement from Access Consciousness, and you can go to theclearingstatement.com. So I once had a friend when I first became a clairvoyant medium, and I used to always ask people when I had somebody come into my awareness, I'd be like, are you open to hearing from this person or this being? And out of all the people I've asked over the years, I've only ever had one person say no. And he was actually a friend of mine. And he said, I don't believe in that sort of stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going to dishonor his belief system. And at the same time, I knew if he let me describe who I was seeing, he would become a believer. So it was also a choice for him to continue to not believe. Can you get that? Like, it's always a choice what you want to believe, what you can receive, and who you want to be. It's always a choice. So if something in your life isn't happening the way that you'd like it to, I'd maybe recommend looking at what's my point of view about this and how can I change that point of view, and maybe destroy and uncreate all the points of view you have, right? Because I don't know about you, but for me, I have always had this desire that the world be aware of all the spirits and the beings without bodies, and our team members, because to me, and you can do, buy whatever's true for you, whatever's light for you. But to me, one, I think it would be a lot easier because we'd actually be more aware of like the fact that there's beings around us all the time. We think we're alone, but we're not really alone, which is very funny. But also, how much more can we receive and be in collaboration and communion with other beings without bodies if we were willing to just be aware that they're all around us all the time, right? Your team's spiritual team never leaves you. They never go away. But whether you choose to engage with them or not is up to you. Whether you choose to believe in them or not is up to you. But I find that the more that we acknowledge, the more that we're grateful for them, the more that we receive, the more we actually then perceive. Isn't that interesting? Like when you're willing to have this, like, okay, I'm willing to receive whatever gifts, and maybe your spiritual team's been like, you've been asking for something for a really long time, and your spiritual team's like saying, it's right here, it's right here, it's right here. We've been trying to give it to you, it's right here, it's right here. And you're like looking everywhere else but at them instead of just being like, wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution to what I've been asking for. So maybe it opens up a world of receiving that we never dreamed possible. So all the resistance and reaction we have to our spiritual team, and everywhere where we think that they have to show up a certain way for us, can we destroy and uncreate that 2 times the godzillion? Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all 9 shorts, boys, po, bads, and meons. I hope that was a contribution. I'm always so grateful for you for listening and watching now and in the future. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.